The monsoon session of the Parliament has been a rather stormy one, but it's been a drought in terms of work done. Every single day has been riddled with disruptions because of several controversial issues that are plaguing the political landscape at this point in time, including the Pegasus snooping row, in which it's alleged that the government snooped on political opponents and journalists and activists. Besides that, the long drawn-out farmers' protests is carrying on, as well as rising fuel prices are plaguing the economy and the people. So, besides this, several other issues are also there, and every single day Parliament has been disrupted and the work has not been done or bills have been passed without discussion. On Thursday, senior BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad noted that over rupees 130 crores are spent on running the Parliament. So every single day that is lost, every single minute that is lost, money is going down the drain. First, let's understand what is the work of the Parliament. So the Parliament is where legislations are brought. Bills are brought here, they are discussed and debated, and then if passed by the majority, they become the law, and then they are enacted. It is essentially a forum for discussion for all the members of parliaments who are essentially representatives of the people, of the constituencies that they come from. They are the voice of the people in parliament in our representative democracy. So it is essential that any law that is passed is discussed by all MPs, and all MPs are present to discuss those legislations because they are the ones who are essentially the voices of the people or representatives of the people in parliament. If bills are not debated, then they can be passed if the ruling party and its allies have enough strength. However, this is of course not desirable because the parliamentary style of democracy is built on, the foundation of it is debate by all the representatives of the people. However, if the parliament is plagued by frequent disruptions, ruling parties do resort to this. Now, Trinamool Congress MP Derek O'Brien had recently said that the BJP government bulldozed 12 bills in the first 10 days without discussion. However, the government maintains that it was the opposition that had stalled the parliament and refused discussion. Now let's come to what is the cost of running the parliament. The fact that time is money is no better highlighted than in the functioning of the parliament. So, to illustrate this, let me bring in the example of a workplace, an office where employees go to work, but for example, for 1 week, say they are not showing up, or they're showing up and they're doing no work. So say they're on a strike. However, the office building exists, so the rent for that office space has to keep being paid. The functions like electricity and water, the company has to keep paying for those. There are supporting staff who are coming on duty, so their salaries have to go. Besides that, there's cost for food, and also the employees are still on payroll, so their salaries also have to be given to them. So all of this can contribute to the amount of money that's being spent despite no work being done. So in this manner, you can calculate the time in terms of the money that is being spent. Similarly, for the parliament, if we consider that as the office space for our MPs in a way, we can come to a similar assessment of time in terms of money. Over the years, this figure has been calculated, and every single time it comes to a staggering amount. 10 years ago nearly, when the BJP was in the opposition, it would also frequently disrupt the parliament, and then a Congress leader told the media, highlighting that every single minute costs rupees 2.5 lakh. So that's the cost per minute of the parliament nearly 10 years ago. How do we come to these figures? So how is the cost of running the parliament calculated? Members of parliament are entitled to rupees 70,000 per month as salary, rupees 49,000 as constituency allowance, and rupees 54,000 as office expenses as available this data is available on the Lok Sabha website. All of this works out to rupees 1,73,000 per MP per month. Now multiply that by the number of MPs, 545 in the Lok Sabha, 250 members of the Rajya Sabha, and this sum easily crosses rupees 13 crores. And now I have come to this figure without even including the other benefits and perks that MPs receive. According to the 2016 report in the Hindu newspaper, MPs are entitled to 34 flight trips. They are reimbursed for 34 flight trips and unlimited rail and road transport for business trips. Now, besides this, there is the cost of the MP's support staff and the cost of running that entire massive parliament complex. It's a heritage building, to maintain that, to maintain the other support staff, including guards and cleaners and whatnot. All of that, if included, can, and it's no surprise that it can come to rupees 130 crores. In 1 year, also, the parliament runs for about 80 days during every single session, and each day business is conducted in both the houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, for about 6 hours each. So dividing this total expenditure and dividing that by the number of days that the parliament is in session, or the number of minutes that the parliament's been in session, you can come to the cost per day or the cost every single minute. Now let us understand, why do these disruptions occur? So disruptions occur usually when a controversial matter is listed and is being discussed, and the discussion gets prolonged because everybody wants to weigh in, or that a controversial matter is not listed and the opposition wants to raise that matter, but the government does not want to because it's not been listed. Disruptions are also triggered when members argue that adequate time was not given to them to speak, adequate time was not given to raise questions or raise objections. So all of these disputes occur in a parliamentary setup, and they can lead to disruptions. Now, there are solutions to this, and they have been suggested earlier. One suggestion was made that the number of working days of the parliament be increased. It was proposed that the Parliament could meet for 110 days every year, and the state legislative assemblies could meet for 90 days. Now, not all disruptions are undesirable. The opposition does have a right to raise matters that are of discomfort to the government. The government has a responsibility to answer those questions and promote debate. That is why the parliament exists. Besides that, the opposition also has a responsibility to follow parliamentary protocol and raise their issues in a disciplined manner. The lawmakers essentially should make a law that ensures parliament functions more lawfully. So the ball is really in their court.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.